So this week, production companies have banned the movie Gone with the Wind because, as we all know, that could never happen in Atlanta. Historically inaccurate. Sometimes the irony just kills me. Hi, my name is Kyle and welcome to my channel. This is The Conservative Take. And in this video, we're going to talk about what happened in Atlanta tonight. The tragic story of a gentleman who was killed by a police officer. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at the video and I'm going to step you through the process of what happened there. And as I mentioned earlier, Gone with the Wind is a movie, one of my personal favorites. I have a list of my favorite movies in my description in my YouTube channel. If you want to go check it out, I count down the top 100. I guarantee you Gone with the Wind is in that list. Check that out if you like. But in terms of Gone with the Wind and being canceled, it's a really tragic thing because Gone with the Wind is a film that was acclaimed through history. It is a film that is based on loosely the Civil War, the burning of Atlanta, and of course we had characters surrounding that. It's a love story and other things too, but it's a masterpiece. And not only that, and the first black woman to win an Oscar came out of that film. This video is not about that, but it's the irony that in that film, the classic scene is when the city burns. And here's the deal. Tonight in Atlanta, some of the city is burning. The Wendys, where this particular incident happened, is burning. And people are rioting or looting or whatever they're doing based on the news or the assumption that this was an unjustified shooting. Okay, so here's the thing, people. I'm gonna run this down really quickly, and it looks like this. The gentleman was in his car at a Wendy's asleep. Cars were going around this particular gentleman in his car while he was sleeping. They called the cops. The cops came to the scene. They woke him up, found out, well, you know what? He's probably drunk. They did a field sobriety test. Supposedly that field sobriety test failed. They arrested him. He resisted. That is on film. At which time he takes the taser of one of the officers. He runs off. The police follow him. He turns around, points the taser at the police officer, and at that point, the police officer is justified for deadly use of force and kills the suspect. This happened, of course, the officers were white, and of course, the person who was killed was black, and you wonder, what the situation is. If a person is pointing an object at a cop, especially even a non-deadly weapon like a taser, the officer has the ability and the right to use deadly force for the simple fact that taser used against him could cause him harm. It could prevent him from defending himself, which potentially could cause future harm to the police officer. So based on what I see and what I've heard from other law enforcement officers tonight, that this was a totally justifiable situation, as tragic as it is. But of course, what you have is people in this highly emotional situation are taking it way over top, not looking at the facts and burning Wendys. And it is a typical classic situation where you have people defending someone who they should not be defending. What I said in yesterday's video when I was talking about the situation in Minneapolis is that, and even the situation all over, is that we must take these situations by case basis, let it work itself out through the court of law. That's why they're there, so that under cross-examination, we can see the truth. Really, truth comes out through cross-examination, and at that time, we can really learn a lot of things. The hands up, don't shoot was proven to be false, and it was even admitted to by Barack Obama's Attorney General, Eric Holder, admitted, you know what, that wasn't right. That didn't happen. You know why? Because the evidence of the testimony did not match the physical evidence of the actual scene in Ferguson. And so, look, everybody, here's the deal. This is going to be a short video, but let's take a look at the clip here. I'm going to show you right here what happened. As you can see, the person is on the ground. This is after he's been arrested. This is after the sobriety test. At this time, the law enforcement officers are trying to restrain him. He's resisting, obviously. And at some point, he takes the taser from the police officers and he runs off. And that's all we see. If it wasn't for this video, it could have been a lot worse. But we have a surveillance video. I believe this is from the Wendys. And here in the scene, we can see he's actually running away. And at this point here, we see he has the taser in his hand. The cops are following him. He turns around. You see him pointing it. And you see, I'm not sure you see a flash charge there or not. But it doesn't matter. He's pointing it. And this time, the law enforcement officers take his life. And according to the standards of engagement, from I've been told from law enforcement tonight, that is totally justifiable. So this itself is going to have to play itself out. From what I understand, the Atlanta police chief actually quit over this, and I believe the guy was fired. The point is the physical evidence here being shown, and also the fact that the people are acting insanely over something that, in my opinion, and many other people's opinion, is not justified. And people got mad at Candace Owens for saying that the black community is too emotional and that we overreact and that we knock ourselves over a narrative that's put forth in front of us by the media so we can react the way they want us to react so that they can get the result they want to get. That's all I'm going to say on this particular video. This is going to keep happening and over and over and over again. And essentially what I've said in other videos, that what's happening is these incidences are being used to trigger a response so that other people can come in and hijack those emotions for their own personal political gain. That is it. It's very important for everyone to think for themselves, look at the evidence, understand that this is an election year, and this kind of stuff is going to happen all the way up until November, unfortunately. Okay, so with that, if you like what we do with this channel, where we take culture, TV, and movies, and politics, and all kind of cool stuff, and filter it right, please hit that like and subscribe button, and that bell icon so that you don't miss any future content. Also, please share with your friends as we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. Check out our Discord server. There we have video chat, messaging, our entire library of videos, as well as the materials we use to put together our walkaway series and exposés. It's all there in a funner environment. And so with that, I appreciate it. And please check out some videos that we have right here.